I am wearing a watch that I helped design. This is a Christopher Ward 12 that was made especially for members of the Horological Society of Utah, of which I'm a member of. I'm a founding member of. It's been over 5 years, a little over 5 years now since our society formed, and we've had some amazing meets over the years, different get-togethers, different brand nights. It's really been a phenomenal experience. And so over a year ago, I approached Christopher Ward and said, hey, I'm a part of this society. I'm a board member of the society. We would love to do a limited edition watch for members of the group. Is that something that you would entertain? And fortunately, Christopher Ward, they said yes. In fact, they are probably the industry leader when it comes to bespoke collaborations. This is something that's part of their business model, and they do it regularly with different watch societies, with different businesses, different military squadrons. So it's something that they were well familiar with. And they said, all right, pick a model, pick your favorite model. Here are a few parameters of what is recommended, what is possible realistically with a limited run, but make it your own and then find buyers for this watch. And so it was a really fun process. I've had a goal to be a part of something like this for many years. I work in architectural pre-visualization. I did architecture school. I love design. It's one of the reasons why I love horology and watches and whatnot. It's just fun. So I've wanted to be a part of a design team, and fortunately, I had this opportunity with my watch society and Christopher Ward. So I designed the dial. A friend of mine in the group designed the case back, and I don't want to sound too proud or boastful, but I think it turned out really nicely. So in this video, I'd like to talk about the design process, what it was like putting together a watch concept, and then about the watch itself. I've had this in hand or on wrist for a little over a month now, so I've had some time to wear it. And so I'd like to talk about the watch, talk about the experience, and maybe answer a few questions for those of you that are interested in doing something similar where you design a watch, you are instrumental in bringing a limited run for whatever organization you're a part of. First, thank you to Artem Straps out of Adelaide, Australia for being the sponsor of today's video. Artem Straps specializes in sailcloth straps and premium FKM rubber straps. They make fantastic straps. They're not cheap, but you can really feel the quality when you have one in person. So I've linked their site below. If you use my link, I get a small commission on anything you buy. It's a great way to support my channel if you have a mind to get yourself a new strap for your favorite sports watch. Now let's talk about this process, this Christopher Ward 12. I wanted something that would be fun to wear every day and wasn't too out there or too wild. I didn't want an accent type watch. I wanted an everyday, versatile, daily driver that still hits you with the visuals, right? That still had a dynamic factor to it. And as of the time of designing this watch last year, there was no black dialed 12 in the Christopher Ward product catalog. So I thought it would be a great idea to use the 12, which is my favorite model. I love the light play, love the way it fits. The 40 millimeter is just so good on a wide range of wrists. So we chose the 12. We went with black. And to make it unique for our group, we wanted to celebrate the state of Utah. So again, I designed the dial. A friend of mine designed the case back, and the watch is chock full of Easter eggs that celebrate this state. So starting with the dial, there's a gloss black dial on top of which is a very small raised honeycomb texture or geometric print. And this is in reference to Utah's nickname, the Beehive State. So we have this honeycomb texture similar to the texture found on a standard 12, but obviously different and done in black, which again is an uncommon color for the 12. Now, if you go to the chapter ring over at the 45 marker, you'll see a honeycomb yellow color that's a little bit different from the off-white of the standard index work. And that's in reference to Utah being the 45th state to join the United States of America. And what's great about this is that yellow marker doesn't stand out unless you're looking for it. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. It's a subtle Easter egg. It's a subtle celebration of our state that I think works well with the honeycomb dial. Now, I've also taken that color and placed it for the date text in the date wheel, which is dial matched when it comes to the color. And I also didn't want any other text. I did not want to see HSU printed on the dial or something predictable like that. I wanted the star of the show to be the form, to be the execution, to be the geometry and the light play. So you'll notice there is no text on the dial. There's only the Christopher Ward Applied logo and then Swiss made at the very bottom portion where it would normally be below the 6 o'clock marker. And that's it. The watch is all about the form. It's all about the beauty. It's all about the execution. And again, I don't want to sound too prideful, but it did turn out very nicely. Another cool thing about this dial is the fact that in some lights, it just looks like a gloss black dial, very basic, very conservative, very versatile, very sharp. But then you angle it just right, or the sun hits it, and then you see that raised honeycomb print, and you see the different shadows that happen off of the gloss black dial, and it becomes a very dynamic watch. The standard production 12, I think, is a very dynamic dial. Really complements the bracelet light play, the bezel light play with those scalloped polished edges. And so I had hoped that our Bespoke 12 would have a similar feel to it. And fortunately, I think that we achieved that. It feels at home in the watch, and a wrist roll outside really dazzles. So that turned out nicely. Flipping the watch over, you'll notice we opted for an exhibition-style caseback, but we partially covered up the movement with a black circle that has our organization logo done in a transparency. So through the logo, you can see a bit of the balance oscillating. Obviously, you can see the rotor spinning around along the opening near the circumference of the crystal. And then you'll see that same honeycomb yellow done off to the side with the text 801, which is just in reference to the dominant area code of Utah. My friend designed the case back. I think it works well in conjunction with the dial side, and the watch the watch is just fun. Limited to 50 pieces, individually numbered. And we had to find buyers. We went within our society first. I actually opened it up to people outside of the state of Utah that just loved the design or maybe had ties to the state of Utah. And we sold 50 pieces. It took several months for the production to take place, but eventually we got our grubby mitts on the watches that we pre-ordered last year. And I'll show you what came with the watch. This is the box, or at least this is the outer box. You'll notice Christopher Ward, the logo, in addition to our HSU logo. That's nice to see. And then inside this is the standard bamboo presentation box with all of the warranty card and paperwork and whatnot. I also opted for the additional black rubber strap to place on this watch on occasion. I like the bracelet the most, but it does look great on the rubber strap as well. And I like the fact that Christopher Ward places it in its own little box there. After the watches arrived and we all individually got them, we planned a meetup locally for any watch collectors that could make it out that bought one of these custom 12s. So we went to a local bar. Not everybody who ordered the watch, not all 50 of us could attend that night. I know some of us live in different states, even different areas of the world, but several of us got together. We got a big group pile shot on the table. We all took a wrist shot, all standing up. I think it was just really fun to get together and celebrate getting this watch and being a part of this organization. I just feel very grateful to be a part of the process. And I want to shout out Christopher Ward for doing these types of collaborations. Most watch brands, you need at least 100 people to order a watch before they'll even consider making something for you. And in many instances, that's just not realistic for different organizations, different watch clubs or military squadrons or whatnot. So shout out to Christopher Ward. Shout out to all of you that bought this Bespoke 12. I hope you love it. I hope you enjoy wearing it for the foreseeable future. And I hope to be a part of other collaborations in the future. I had an absolute blast doing it, and now I've kind of caught in the bug for it, and I'm looking for other opportunities moving forward. If you have a question about the process or what it was like specifically designing for an organization or whatever the case may be, reach out. You can email me directly. You can ask a question in the comment section and I will get back to you. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.